we will first see what are the major changes which we need to do so that we can connect to MySQL database instead of SQLite, default SQLite database. So as you can see in settings.py, we have a variable called as databases, and this variable has to be adjusted. So let me just copy this and also comment this and create a new database variable. Here I'll be making few changes here. So our engine should be django.db.backends.mysql. So first change, and also our name should be name of the database. So I'll name it as simple mydb2, and our host, we should have host, so that should be our local host, which is 127.0.0.1, and this should be placed in single quotes, comma. Port should be equal to 3306. User, this is your username. If you have set root, you can use it root. If you have used some other username, you have to place that here. So place comma after everything, every element, because this is a dictionary, so we have to, it's a key value pair, so we have to follow it. Here you need to enter the password. So inside here the password, both it should be in the single quotes. Currently I'm placing it here as stars, but here you place your password. So this is what is needed, changes which are needed. I'll place this password towards the end. So once we make these changes, there are certain things which need to be installed in Django in order for MySQL to work. So I have listed out in a PDF. So let me show this. So these are the things which you need to install. First, pip install MySQL client. So this has to be installed, which I have already done. So we have to import these into our settings.py, which we will do it shortly. And you also need to install PyMySQL. So if you type these in the terminal, it will install into your virtual environment. So I'll not be doing these steps. Make sure you do these steps. But importing PyMySQL is necessary, so I'll be using that in the top. So import PyMySQL, and also I'll be using this command. So place this in the top, save it, and once we are done with all of this, so now we can try to migrate and do the rest of the steps. So let me do Control X, exit from here. So here you can do make migrations, make migrations and migrate. So before you do that, make sure all these things are being completed. All the installations related to, as I shown earlier, has to be completed. MySQL client and PyMySQL. So and then you try to import here and place it in the settings.py. If you are in Mac, you may also need to install MySQL client. This is Mac, so I have installed here. So these are the steps to be done, and then you start migrations. Making changes in settings.py, we need to do the make migrations. So go to terminal, type python manage.py make migrations, and so it is saying mydb2 is unknown database, so we need to create the database in MySQL. So we can go to our MySQL, and here we can type create database mydb2. So this is what we gave the name to our database. So and yeah, now we can see the databases. As you can see, we have MyDB2 as the database. Now go back and try to do the make migrations. So no changes detected. Migrate. So all these got migrated now to MySQL. So what we are essentially doing is the customer table, instead of saving in SQLite DB, we are trying to save the same table in MySQL, which is not part of Django, which is an external software database, which is MySQL. So but since I have given it as a local host, so that is exactly there in this laptop. So once we have migrated, we can create entries. So to do that, you can use shell, go to shell, and here first try to import the models. So to import the models, just like earlier, so type from mydb app, this is the app name, so dot models, import the customer, which is the only class we created to create the table. So once we imported it, we can create entries into the table by customer dot objects dot create, and give the both the variables name as say Raju, and comma age is equal to some 40, so some 40, and you can create this entry. So once you create this entry, now this entry is saved in MySQL and not SQLite. So just to see that, we will go to our SQL, MySQL. So this is MySQL. I'll be using the database MyDB2. So let me see what all tables we have there. So you can turn off this feature. Okay, currently, so now let me show the tables. So these are the tables. As you can see here, the customer table we are able to see. Let me list, see the what all content we have from MyDB app underscore customer. So this is the content we exactly placed it. Let me just show one more case where we enter another entry, say gym or something, and say age is say 50. So if I enter this, so let us go back and once again enter this query. As you can see, both these entries. So now I'm able to store the data from Django to my database, my SQL database, not in the SQLite. Whatever I am doing now, if you go to here, these whatever gym data which I entered is not saving in my SQLite. It is now saving in MySQL. So in this way, by making few changes in the settings.py and few installations like MySQL client and PyMySQL, we can easily store the data in MySQL and also retrieve and do various other operations. So in the next video, we will see how we can get input from user through HTML forms and try to save the same data in the MySQL database. Currently, we are using this shell by to give the entries, to create the entries. Instead, we can, there is another way also. You can go to admin page of Django and also add the customers. That is another way which is discussed in the previous videos. So that we will see the to get information from the HTML forms and to store it in the database will be seen in the next video. Thank you.